majestic and wonder. You reign with love forever. There's no one higher than you. Your beauty, your splendor, your glory knows no measure. There's no one higher than you. You are always with us, gracious to forgive us. By your power we've been set free. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded by your mercy and love. Our hands are lifted high in surrender. Your grace for me is always enough. There is no one higher than our God. There is no one greater than you. Let my life forever praise the glory of your name. 'Cause there is no one higher than you. There's no one higher than you, There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. There is no one higher, no one greater, no one like our God. There is none more able, Christ our Savior, great and glorious. Lord, we stand amazed in your presence, astounded by your mercy and love.
Good evening and welcome to our first ever virtual ThanksLiving event. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bergren, the Executive Director of the RealLife Center, and I'm delighted to be here with you. This is the first of 3 sessions where we hope you will be encouraged by others, meet some amazing local chefs, participate in our online auction, and most of all, be inspired as you hear more about neighbor helping neighbor through the RealLife Center. I am so thankful for each of you as you join us tonight and for all the ways that you are part of being a neighbor to those that are hurting. You know, with all this craziness in our world right now, this event is really going to be focused on being grateful and a challenge for us to all live and think thankfully, as we care for one another. I grew up in a large family on a dairy farm in the Midwest. One of the things my parents modeled to me is that we are always there for each other as a family and for our neighbors. I learned that people matter more than tasks, things, or money and should always be our first priority. This meant things like delivering our extra sweet corn to our neighbors who might be struggling instead of selling it on the roadside, which as a kid I thought would be a much better option because who didn't need extra money? While I might not have understood that as a child, this way of living set the stage for me as I have had the privilege to be a part of the RealLife Center. This ministry was started over 20 years ago as a way to walk alongside anyone, no matter what walk of life they're from, who found themselves hurting and going through those unexpected hard times. It was designed to offer immediate help, to promote stability through our programs such as food, clothing, financial assistance, but also to act as a catalyst for change. We do this by investing in people through education, coaching, and more to help equip and build confidence. At the RealLife Center, we offer hope, encouragement, and accountability for long-term change. Not a day goes by that I don't have the privilege to see how the community has come together to make a difference in the lives of others. More than ever with COVID-19, we see the importance of caring for and loving our neighbors and the impact we can have when we do this together. As we continue to walk this road of COVID and beyond, it's my prayer that we will see the value of doing what Jesus called us to do when he said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Tonight's session is presented by Fayette Piedmont Hospital. They have been an amazing partner in many ways over the years, and they really understand the importance of working together to make an even greater impact. I'm honored to introduce my friend Debbie Britt, the Executive Director of Patient Services, who loves others and works diligently to care for our community. So Debbie, welcome.
Welcome to the Wellness Kitchen at Piedmont Fayette Hospital. We are so thankful for our partnership with the RealLife Center, and we both have much in common by focusing on keeping our community well. It is my privilege at this time to introduce the gentleman that has changed the way we nourish our patients here at the hospital by turning the two words hospital food into something that people really now enjoy and look forward to. Chef Len Elias, welcome.
Thank you, glad to be here. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to make a flatbread that is going to be your first course during your holiday meal. It's very easy to make. It can be done a number of different ways, but we're going to do a very straightforward version today. This is a flatbread that was purchased. There's a variety of flatbreads out there that can meet every dietary need. There's many that have virtually no sodium in them, fat content, whatever you're looking for. So if you're going to use this for Thanksgiving as your pre-meal appetizer, you want to keep the calories on the low side and make sure that you're starting off at a level so you can enjoy the rest of your meal without having any kind of guilt. I made a second one also. I made this one from scratch. Now, this is made from sweet potatoes. This is just half sweet potato, half flour, and then it's grilled. It's got a little bit of olive oil on it to keep it from sticking, but we're going to work with these two. But first, I'm going to take care of our vegetables. We're going to cut up our vegetables and get them marinated, and then from there, we'll start to assemble our flatbread. So I went and tried to buy seasonal vegetables, things that I could find, and this time of year, as you can imagine, there's probably not a lot out there, except for root vegetables, a lot of things that don't necessarily grill that great, but there are items out there. So I grabbed some asparagus. Everybody likes asparagus. We've got some bell pepper. And when we cut these vegetables, we want to keep them very thin because if they get too heavy, the weight of them will not hold up on your flatbread. So you want to make sure you keep them on the smaller side. That's more than enough. Too many ingredients are going to create a flatbread that's going to be wet. It's not going to keep its crispness as all the moisture starts to come out of the vegetables. Zucchini. And on our zucchini also, I try to keep them large to start, and then I'll go back and cut them so I'm not grilling little pieces. And you can do that also on the peppers. Start with a big piece of pepper, grill it, and then come back and do the slicing. Because of the grill that I have here, it's not that difficult to keep them intact. But if you do it on a home grill outside, you want to keep the pieces nice and big. Got some onion. This is a sweet onion. I like the sweet onions, and I'm actually going to get this going a little quicker than the other items. They take a little longer. So I'm just going to get these on the grill ahead of time while I'm cutting the other items, because they do take a little bit of time.
Chef Lynn, I noticed you've pulled out your herbs from the garden.
I did. I actually grew those herbs.
I knew you did. I knew you did. So as you went to pick those herbs, and one of the things I'm curious about is how herbs are used with seasoning. Can they replace your traditional salt and pepper?
Oh, absolutely. That is really one of the main ways to minimize the amount of sodium that you may put in something, is to increase the flavor profile of herbs and other items that are similar, that have a good flavor, such as rosemary. It's a hard herb, rosemary, so you got to be a little careful with that. But the basil goes good with just about anything. You can't go wrong with that. So keep your tomato slices on the larger side also, because you don't want them to fall apart as they're grilling. What else we got here? That's about all we have in our basket today. A little green pepper, but I'm going to leave this one whole just to show you what I talked about earlier. I like putting a little lemon juice in everything that I grill. It adds a freshness to it that comes out, the flavor, more so than the vinegar.
So Chef Lynn, that little tip of the lemon, who knew? That's a great little secret. So is this really replicate of what our patients eat, those little additions?
Well, we have an herb garden here at the hospital, and I'll be honest, this year with COVID and everything else, we got off track. We never got it in the ground. But typically we grow all our own herbs, peppers, high flavor profile items that we don't have to grow a tremendous amount of, but at the same time gives us the ability to add these flavors that we control, because we have an organic garden. We put the dirt in as organic soil. We dug out the whole thing, and we've been doing that for about 4 years. So it's worked out really, really well for us. So we got our vegetables going there, and we need to make our marinade. Now, this is a cast iron skillet. It works awesome. I want to get a little more color in it than that. But once these are seasoned, very little work to them. So we've got some extra virgin olive oil, got some balsamic vinegar, can't live without it, a little Dijon mustard. The Dijon mustard not only adds flavor, it helps emulsify the marinade so it sticks to everything, or else it'll just run right off. A little black pepper. Got to have the garlic. Life without garlic would not be good.
So Chef, is that fresh garlic, or can you use the jar garlic?
You can, but I would be careful about that. A lot of them, the flavors are diluted because of the way they're manufactured. So you could play with a few. Make sure they're from California. If you do buy processed garlic, to make sure it's from California. There's no controls otherwise. And if you're going to buy it, just buy a good brand. Don't spend a little money on it. I am going to put a little bit of salt in here, but considering what we're making, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
Great. Good to know.
A little fresh lemon juice in there. That's how quick it is to make that marinade. It's very much like a balsamic vinaigrette that you might buy, and if you really wanted to, you probably could just go buy a balsamic vinaigrette. But once again, buy a good quality one. Check the ingredients. Make sure that the items listed in the ingredients are in there in the order in which you want to eat them. So if salt's the first ingredient, that's not something you want to buy.
So that's what I want to know. I want to know, why is it important to have an aged balsamic vinegar versus a younger one?
Well, same as wine. Why would you want to have an aged wine? The flavors develop a little better. With the aging process, it matures, it becomes mellower. It just eats better, always tastes better. It's like buying a 1-year-old wine versus a bottled wine that may have been sell it for the appropriate amount of time. So the onions are the hardest ones to do because they fall apart. You could skewer these also if you'd like. And I do that sometimes if I'm on my gas grill at home. I'll skewer all these vegetables so I don't have to play with them. But for our purposes today, this is fine. So you're going to see as they start to cook now because of the marinade, the oil and the marinade and everything else, it's not going to take very long. I mentioned about the pepper. As compared to having separate pieces in there, having one big one, then going back to cut it. So these are all coated with the herbs, and there's different schools of thought on that. You could put the herbs in the marinade and puree them, but I like the pieces. I like biting into a piece of something like that as compared to having it all pureed, and you may not get the same flavor as getting a straight piece of basil or rosemary. So it's all a preference. You can do it either way. Now I have a lot of vegetables here. I'm not going to do them all right now because we don't need them. But it won't go to waste. We'll eat these later.
If you could move that bowl a little closer to me, that'd be great. I'm just kidding.
My hands are wet, so I can't get the sound. All right, as our vegetables are cooking along pretty nicely here, I'll get those flatbreads going, and we'll get these done. This is a great piece to keep at home too. This was $30. I bought it online. Awesome. This is about the same. Great things to have in your house. In our house, we pretty much just use cast iron. We got away from non-stick pans because of the residue left on the pans. And as they get older, some of the ingredients used to make that non-stick surface can bleed into the food. So I choose not to use them. And the iron actually does get into your body. So it's not a bad thing to have that.
So what does it mean when you season a cast iron skillet?
Well, you want to close the pores on the metal so nothing will get absorbed and it won't stick. You don't have to really wash them at the same level as you may think if you use a traditional pan, because nothing sticks to it. And very simple to just give it a quick, easy wipe with some Dawn type soap and dry them off. It's incredibly fast and easy to do. So it makes cooking a lot easier than having to scrub pans. Excuse me, a few technical difficulties on this stove.
Chef, that smells delicious. Those are the sweet onions?
They are sweet onions.
And are those different than Vidalia onions or just regular yellow onions?
Fine Vidalia. They just have a sweeter flavor. There's not as much sulfur. They're not as acidic. So they do taste a lot sweeter than a Spanish onion or a red onion, something of that type. All right. So as I said earlier about leaving the pieces whole, you can see the difference between, playing around with the smaller pieces and trying to get them to get color in them. While if I leave it large like that, I can just take it off very easily and slice it how I'd like without a lot of difficulty. So remember, anything that you put on here, you want to keep it small and light so it doesn't crush it. And you do want to let it sit for a minute or two so some of the moisture comes out of it, or you'll get a very soggy flatbread.
So this flatbread could be a nice appetizer. It could also serve as with a simple salad, a nice entree for very low cost. Is that right, Chef?
Absolutely. There's very few things that there where this wouldn't fit in. I often eat them as an entree. Um, Fold them over, kind of like a burger type setup. Just about any type of main ingredient that you want to put in the middle will work just as easily on this. Same kind of deal. Flip it over. Probably seen commercials. Pizza Hut's got an item that they're calling Piedmont, something like that. Is kind of along those same grounds there. On our tomatoes, we don't want to go too long, or you'll have tomato paste or tomato puree.
So this is something the whole family could get involved in. It's one of the things that I love about Real Life Center and the orchard they have on their property. It engages the entire family. So just around the stove, the cooktop is what you're doing. This is something the kids could get involved in with the parents and family members and make it a real feast in itself and a memory.
That is very, very true, and that's something in our house that we do together all the time. Everybody likes to get involved, be part of it, and the smoke, the fire, the excitement of seeing the flare when you hit the grill with some oil. It's pretty exciting, especially for younger kids.
It's teaching the kids that value of good eating. I know we have a saying here at Piedmont, nutrition is medicine. But, everything around the kitchen, I've always looked at the kitchen as being ground center for all families. No matter where you live, everything happens together in the kitchen. So I love the idea that you're providing some great tips on how we can eat simply, but eat really well.
Well, thank you. So our two flatbreads here are nice and crisp. This is very close to a pesto, what I've got here. And I like those type of flavors. That's what this flatbread is about. The traditional type of flavors you would expect. And the basil I picked at 6:30 this morning, as I did with the rosemary. So I would suggest that everybody has a garden. It doesn't have to be a big deal. This year, because of what was going on in the pandemic and in the stores, not being able to buy a lot of things that you may have bought in the past, I did a bucket garden. I used buckets and anything I could find. I didn't do a traditional ground garden, and I just grew a few things, but it was still nice to be able to go outside and get a tomato, get your basil, rosemary. It's been in my yard for years. It just keeps growing. Never have to worry about it. Low maintenance. Thyme, same thing. You could have a thyme plant for 4 years, 5 years, and it'll just keep on growing. As it gets older, the flavors change a little, but very hardy, very easy to grow, and it's really cool to go out and just get whatever you want.
So you grow them in buckets, which is, I've heard about container gardening. You and I swap our garden stories and our photos. I have the traditional in the ground garden. That's my therapy when I go home and just want to decompress. But if you lived in an apartment or a small area, what you're saying is you just throw some dirt in the bucket, put some plants in there, and you could have them anywhere.
Well, a lot of people do that and have been doing that. My grandmother lived in an apartment in Brooklyn in New York, and she had all kinds of stuff growing on what she called the terrace, but it was a fire escape. And it was amazing what you can grow in a small area. It doesn't take a lot of effort, just takes water. And most people don't water their plants enough, and that's typically why they don't grow. Most plants are pretty hardy. So these are done. I'm going to add a little shredded Asiago cheese on it because I want to. I'll just put it on one. I like the cheese on there. If you want to keep it vegan, you can do that and forgo the cheese or use some of the great cheeses they've come out with recently. There's a lot of cheeses that are non-dairy cheeses that have come a really long way, and I eat that myself on occasion. It's not so much anything that you want to make sure that your body, that you're not putting in an overload of any one thing. So trying to have balance in what you eat. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, but I eat a lot of plant-based foods. I eat a lot of Impossible Burgers, things like that. But I don't eat them for the reasons that most people may think. I want to make sure that I'm keeping my cholesterol level down. I'm making sure that I'm putting the things in my body in a good balance. And that's what you got to strive for, balance in everything that you eat. And the last thing I want to put on here is some of my balsamic reduction. So this is, you can buy this or you can make it. If you make it, just get a good balsamic vinegar and you're just going to simmer it, bring it down to the point where it's got some viscosity like this, but it's not too thin. And it adds just an incredible flavor to it. So here we go. These are our grilled vegetable.
Beautiful.
Flatbreads, and done in several different ways here.
So simple, so fresh, so nutritious, and again, very low cost way to have a very satisfying meal.
So I hope you enjoy.
I'm starving. Pass one over.
I would encourage you to try it on your own. Your family will be impressed, your friends will be impressed, and you saw how easy it was. Don't worry about the rules, just follow the basics and use whatever you think is appropriate, and you can do it. So thank you for joining us, and have a happy Thanksgiving and have a safe New Year.
Awesome. Thank you, Chef.
Good afternoon. How'd you enjoy the first part of the lunch today? Good, good. We have Dr. Rao getting ready to taste our different types of flatbreads that we prepared today. So this is kind of like a flatbread tasting. We have a variety of flatbreads here. Flatbreads are made in every culture in the country. They come from every place you could imagine. I made some of these from scratch, but this is a very simple thing to buy, good quality ones. This one I purchased, not the ingredients on top, just the bread, but I wanted to show you a few items that you could buy. At the hospital, we try to focus on alternative foods that offer lower calories. We're really looking at sodium in most cases, but there's a lot of great products out there that you can do this very easily at home and not have to really put the time and effort into it that you may or may not have. So I did it in a variety of different ways. So what I'm going to do is cut each one of these up, and then we can talk a little about each one as we're going along. So this one is a grilled vegetable one. Any vegetable will do. This one, I try to use seasonal vegetables whenever I can. This is a tough time of year. A lot of the vegetables are the root vegetables that don't really work well in this. But I did use some pumpkin and some sweet potatoes and products like that so we can get some seasonality into it. This is the same version of that, but this one here is a naan bread. So a naan bread, very much used in places like India and countries in that region of the world. Just a little play on that, very simple to make once again. Just a sister of that. And now this one is really kind of unique. I made the crust for this. This is a goat cheese with caramelized onions. There's a little diced up roasted sweet potato on there as well, and some roasted corn. And then to finish it off, we can have some of the toppings that we have here. I have some pancetta baking. I have some fig jelly and some more roasted onions. So they can really indulge on this one should they care to, but I'm just trying to show the diversity of a flatbread and how easy it is to put these together. This dough is made with 1 sweet potato, which was about a cup of sweet potato mash, and 1 cup of flour. That was it. And you just knead that together. You can season it up. You can put a little oil in there. Gives it a little more elasticity. A little salt and pepper if you want. I didn't add any, but very simple to make. And very much like a crepe almost. You would cook it, let it get your pan hot Let it puff up a little on both sides for about maybe a minute or two on each side. It doesn't take very much to get to there. And then I added a dessert. This is a pumpkin pie flatbread. So I made the crust with pumpkin, and the filling is a traditional pie, a traditional pumpkin filling, but I also have some walnuts in there, and I have a yogurt dressing that goes along with that, a little yogurt drizzle. So,
Hey, Lynn, can we do that part again where you put those pieces back into the pie?
sure,
And introduce that pie again.
sure thing. Yeah, I did kind of fumble it there. So our last one is a pumpkin flatbread. This I made the crust from pumpkin puree. Very simple. Actually, it was canned pumpkin puree, and I drained it overnight in a sieve so all the liquid would come out. And it's really simple to make, just flour and the pumpkin. I seasoned it up with some pumpkin spice, has walnuts in it, and a few other ingredients that you would typically put in a pumpkin pie. But it is a flatbread version, very simple. And we have a vanilla yogurt topping to go along with that, also with some pumpkin spices. So it just gives it a little indulgence without any guilt, because there's no heavy cream in this, there's no whipped cream. It's very low in fat, very low in sodium, but it's got a lot of flavor. So, well, thank you. And this pancetta bacon is probably not a chef in the world. I don't care how well you eat. Everybody likes pancetta bacon. Would you like a little bit on? Yes. So it goes perfectly on this one here. And this has the fig jam on it, has the goat cheese, caramelized onions. So a lot of flavors going on there. So here we go. So when I would start eating them from your right to your left. So you want to start on the left where the vegetables are. It's the least flavor forward part of it. And when you get to the end where it's sweet, you won't be able to taste the other things if you eat that sweet first.
Thank you. Looks great. Try it out? Yeah. Awesome. Let's dig in.
Well, you can hear that crunch, so we did it right. You want to have some backbone into it, or else it will just kind of weep on you and it'll be very difficult to pick up. Thank you. I also have some balsamic reduction that goes well on that too, if you care for some. Well, the key to good food, you want to be able to use really high quality ingredients, cook it as close to the surface as possible. Try to have some variety in there in the textures and the flavors so they bounce off each other and have more than one dimension to it. The second one is the naan, that's correct. Basically the same ingredients as the first one, just a little different play on it there. That's goat cheese. It's got cranberry on it as well. Wanted to add a seasonal touch to it. So when you're doing your Thanksgiving dinner and you got everything cooking, some of the things take quite a bit of time. This is a quick, easy thing that you could put together if you prep yourself the day before. The flatbread part of it's very simple if you purchase it like I did on that first one there. And any vegetable will work. It doesn't necessarily have to be what I have here. But what you don't want to do, you don't want to weight it down. You want to make sure that you don't overdo it with the toppings. You want to have enough toppings on there to give it some personality. But if it's too much, it'll just fall apart on you, and it just won't be as enjoyable as limited amount. Now, I did that Monday night. What's today? Yeah, Monday night, last night. I was looking for something else to kind of round this out, and I thought that would be pretty cool. I had some dough left, and just wanted to give it a try. So this is its first time it's been out there. So I've never tried it myself, actually. So, well, I would encourage everybody to get in the kitchen. You make mistakes, you learn from them, you get better at what you do. Especially now, with the world that we live in, it's great to be able to cook from home. And using YouTube, there's nothing you can't make. There's nothing you can't find an answer for. So asking for recipes, it's great, but it's better to watch somebody. That's what I like about YouTube. There's nothing that you can't go on there, find something that you want to try, and there's probably 15 versions of it. So I would encourage you to do that on just about anything you want to eat. Now, great chefs can give you a recipe, but you're not that great chef. So that recipe may work for him or her, but it may not work for you.
Chef, this has been fabulous. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to nourish our souls and teach us something good to do in our own kitchens. I know as we celebrate this Thanksgiving year, what we are so thankful here at the hospital is an opportunity to serve our community in a great way during the most challenging times that are unprecedented. I know at the top of my thankfulness list is my family, but I have to say the last couple of months has really warmed my heart with much appreciation and much gratitude for this amazing staff we have at this hospital, from our frontline workers to our physicians to all of our caregivers to everyone that makes this hospital run. I am in awe of what we've been able to do during this time, and I'm so grateful and thankful for having that opportunity. Chef, what are you thankful for this year?
Well, I've got to agree with you. I come to work every day. I'm excited to get here. Considering what's gone on over the last 6 or 7 months, the environment that we have here is amazing. The staff we have is amazing. I feel so lucky to be able to come in and use my skill set to help people through this time, through our food and through our service that we provide. It really is special, and I feel very lucky to be here. So I look forward to the end of COVID and back to normalcy, but I don't look forward to or going back to where we were. People have changed for the better, and I think it's really amazing how much giving is out there and how much people care about each other. So I hope we never lose that part of it.
I agree. And I want to also add too that during the height of COVID for us, we could not have done what we were able to do without the support of the community. And the RealLife Center was right alongside us, helping us provide meals for our staff that would get off after late hours and find the grocery stores empty. To help nourish our team was amazing. So RealLife Center, we owe a debt of gratitude to our community partner there as well. So.
Yeah, 91 years, and I've been blessed with all dear kind of friends. They take care of me, look after me, and I don't have nothing to worry about. All I got to do is call on them, and they're here.
Today, I'm most thankful that I live in a country where we still do have freedom. We have a lot of challenges around us, from COVID to a voting period with a lot of just good and bad going on. And so it's still nice to know we're in a free country, though, where we can say and speak and live comfortably. And being a faithful Christian, that is huge, to know that I don't have to hide behind a curtain because I believe in God.
Hi, my name is Deidre Bembry. What I am most thankful for this year are my amazing relationships with my friends and my family. This year has taught me a lot about the importance of the people in my life. Prior to 2020, I was always filling my day with so many things and to-dos and tasks all day long with no end in sight. But when everything came to a halt with COVID-19, it really allowed me to open my eyes and see that the most important things are right in front of me every day, and they're not things at all. They're the people that make my life full and important. So thank you, 2020, for allowing me to refocus on people and relationships, because that is and always will be what I am giving thanks for.
I'm Ellie White Stevens with Dirt 1X, and we partner with the RealLife Center and encourage all of our clients to partner with the RealLife Center because of the incredible difference that they make for families who are struggling. And even in the midst of this incredibly difficult time, I've seen my clients step up to be able to give things like toilet paper and food drives for families who are struggling the most. So that's what I encourage everyone to do, is partner with the RealLife Center.
So what am I thankful for? Well, I'm thankful for employment when so many are unemployed, for food when so many are hungry, family when so many have lost theirs this year, and certainly this community where we can all come together to support one another.
I am so incredibly thankful for the way the community steps in and is a neighbor.
My business partners with the Real Life Center because one of the main points of business is to serve your community. And one of the main points of my Christian walk is to serve as well. And that doesn't stop just with business. And the Real Life Center is one of the best ministries that I've ever been associated with because they truly are about serving everyone.
My name is Dan Rankin, and I volunteer here at the Real Life Center, and I just want to talk a little bit about what it means to me to volunteer, and I just feel so grateful to be able to come here and serve other people and serve with people that have such a great heart, that realize that there's needs in our community and that we all want to work together to serve people and just meet their needs wherever they're at in life, whether that's a physical need or a spiritual need. Just so thankful to be able to come and give and serve alongside these great people.
Hi, I'm Shannon Echeverria, Client Care Coordinator at the Real Life Center. What I personally am most thankful for this year is that through all of the quarantine time, I've been blessed to spend more time with my daughters, and that through my work here at the Real Life Center, I am able to love and serve those that are struggling. I am also grateful to get to share about some of our client programs to help you better understand the impact of your support. Our educational classes and monthly senior breakfast provide community and connection for our families. This sense of connection combats isolation. Taught by volunteers, the classes focus on health and wellness, spiritual growth, money management, and developing healthy relationships. Our classes provide a safe place to share, encourage, and build relationships. Empowering our family towards long-term change, each class attended earns them additional visits to the food pantry. Some examples of our past classes include the purpose of prayer, cooking summer meals, productive communication, and resume help and job seeking. Designed to encourage fellowship and community, our classes provide a safe place for the families we serve to open up and share thoughts, ideas, and feelings with each other. Clients who attend are also learning something new that perhaps changes their focus or encourages a positive outlook on their future as they feel empowered with their new information. At times, we also offer an opportunity for our clients to win prizes if they attend, perhaps a new kitchen item or a warm blanket. One of our clients shared what the classes have meant to her. She said, "Thank you, Real Life Center, for blessings like the caring classes, the opportunity to share our thoughts and feelings, and the time to teach us new ideas and skills, and just quiet time to focus. The special blanket given to me at the cooking class is warm and soothing and means so much. My grandson and I share it. I start off with it each night and go later to cover and comfort him with it. He loves waking up with it and then brings it back to me. What a special memory we will have. Thank you for making this possible." At this time, due to COVID-19, we have temporarily suspended our classes and hope to begin offering classes again very soon when the time is right. Our clothing closet is another program we offer for our full program clients. Once enrolled in our programs, families are invited to visit the clothing closet and encouraged to come at the change of each season. Each household member can receive up to 20 items from the clothing closet, with each visit including tops, bottoms, shoes, new undergarments, and pajamas. We also provide warm coats when the weather turns cold. The items in the clothing closet come from the generosity of people like you who donate new or gently used items. Currently, also due to COVID-19, our clothing closet is not open for shopping, and we have paused our clothing donation. However, if a client is in need of clothing items, we certainly find a way to accommodate that need. Because of the amazing amount of donations we typically receive, we are also able to help others in our area that may be coming from a domestic violence situation, have been incarcerated, or perhaps have had a house fire and have lost their personal belongings. This is such a blessing for us to help in this way. When an individual first contacts the Real Life Center for help, Many times it is for financial assistance. As a part of our financial assistance piece, clients set up an appointment to visit with one of our volunteer assessment counselors. Many times, these amazing volunteers provide the first point of contact at the Real Life Center. We know that asking for help is frequently very difficult for people. It is important to us at the Real Life Center that those who call understand that we all need help from our neighbors at some point in our lives. We try to remove the feelings of shame that often come with being in a challenging financial situation. During their assessment appointment, our counselors gather information, better understand their situations, help them set goals, talk through a budget sheet, and most importantly, pray with them and share the love of Jesus with them. It's the beginning of a one-year program for our clients, an opportunity for the Real Life Center to impact change in their lives, and a time for us to connect with our clients in a safe, loving, and caring environment. Our programs are designed to connect families to community and make them feel valued and empowered towards life change. None of this could be possible without the support from you and so many wonderful people in our community who care for each other as neighbors.
Hi, my name is Dawn, and I'm here at the Funky Shack, which is a business that I own with my sister, and I just want to share a little bit about my experience with the Real Life Center. I was working nights, my husband was working days, but then found himself in between jobs, and his dad suddenly got ill, and he had to leave to go be with his dad for a month, and I was home alone with the kids, and with no extra money in the bank, we had no way to pay our bills. We needed help with our rent. We needed help with food and utilities. And I was kind of desperate at the moment, being at home by myself with the kids. It was through friends at Dogwood Church recommended that we could get help at the Real Life Center. So when I went to the Real Life Center, feeling very, very desperate, hopeless, sat down with a volunteer so that they could find out what my needs were. And at that moment, it was a moment of peace and comfort. And I knew everything was going to be okay, and I just lost it. And I just cried, and they made me feel like it was going to be okay. My favorite part was going through the food pantry. I could actually pick out the foods that my family was going to eat. So it made you feel a little bit more dignity and a little more in control of the situation. And it was fresh vegetables and meat and milk and stuff that really we hadn't had in the house for a couple weeks. One of my other favorite memories and most fond memories of the Real Life Center was sitting down with a volunteer in one of the offices. And it wasn't really at that moment about my needs. He just wanted to pray with me and give me tools to pray. And it was a sheet of paper, and it had scriptures. If you're feeling anxious, read this scripture. If you're feeling sad, read this scripture. So it was a whole list of them. And it actually is still in my Bible to this day. The edges are all ragged and torn, but it's always there just in case I need it. What the Real Life Center did for us was bridge that gap so we could get back on our feet again. We just needed that little help at that moment. It was really important that we did find peace and courage to move forward. The stress and anxiety of not being able to provide for your family can be a little debilitating. And without that extra help, I don't know if I would have got through that moment. After getting help from the Real Life Center, it's always been really important to me to give back. So after however many years of getting help that I needed, I was able to build this business with my sister, and we have this wonderful store here. But our store also enables us to give back to the community. After everything that I've gone through, this has been a blessing to me to get where I am, so now I can help others. It is so hard to ask for help, and a lot of people, especially in our community, everyone thinks that everyone has it all together, but you don't know what's going on in people's behind their doors, and a lot more people need help than ask for it. I would just say, if you need help, go to the Real Life Center, because will change your life.
Hi, my name is Layla Ahmedi, and I'm going to be saying what I'm thankful for. The first thing I'm thankful for is my family, and the second thing I'm thankful for is the Christmas blessings. They have done so much for this county, and everybody loves them.
Hi, I'm Charlene Ferguson, Volunteer Services Specialist. I am thankful for all the volunteers here at Piedmont Fayette who are serving during this COVID experience.
Hi, this is John Lake, and I'm the business director at the RealLife Center. And I am so thankful that despite the COVID pandemic that we've dealt with, that I have been able to be a part of this community's outpouring of support, and therefore we have been able to issue so many financial assistance checks to those that are in need. And I'm very grateful for that has occurred even during these dark times. It's great to be a part of it.
I am most thankful for my amazing mother.
I'm thankful for our partnership and the collaboration with the RealLife Center. The way they love and provide for families, they're a great example for Jesus' teaching to love our neighbors.
I just wanted to say that I'm thankful this year for all of the blessings that I've received, for all of the health from my family and friends, and just for the blessings that keep coming.
I'm thankful for the relationships I have in my life. This year has made me realize how special it is to have family and friends that are close to you, and especially being able to see them in person, which I'm so thankful for recently, how I've been able to go back to church, see my church family, and I'm looking forward to spending time face-to-face with my family this Thanksgiving.
I'm Paige Mew. I'm the Community Relations Manager here at Piedmont Fayette Hospital. And this year, I'm grateful for all of our Piedmont Fayette Hospital employees who are working so hard to keep our community safe.
Hi, Dogwood family. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, the thing I'm most thankful for is my Lord and Savior, Jesus. Of course, I hope you're not surprised at that. So I want to move on to my second most important and blessing in my life that I'm most thankful for, and that's my family, my immediate family, my wife Allison, my daughter Leanne and her husband Josh, and my grandkids Allie and Graham, my daughter Mary Beth and her husband Hunter. They are precious to me. I'm so grateful to God for them all, and also thankful for you. God bless you.
Hi, this is Richard Bearden, along with my wife Sheila. We wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone that participated and purchased the Manny the Manatee Christmas ornament. All the proceeds went to the RealLife Center so they could continue their work offering a lifeline to folks in need. God bless you.
Thank you for help for our family, for keeping food. God bless you.
I also just thank God so much for the RealLife Center here in Peachtree City, Georgia. I tell them all the time they're really, truly angels. Because the minute you walk through the door, it could even be over the phone, you can feel the genuine love. You can feel the concern. You can feel the compassion. And I just like to say this, that they're out there rain, during the hot summertime. They're out there during the winter. Even when it's raining, sometimes they're out there. And guess what? They don't get paid for that. They're volunteers. We all know somebody that work and get paid and won't even go outside and work during these conditions, you know. So I just say that they are truly angels. They've been such a blessing to me, to other people that I referred. They even grow their own, they have own property where they grow several different fresh vegetables. How amazing is that? And then they have to pick those. All that's volunteered. So what love is poured into that, making me think about how God so loved us, he gave his only begotten son. What better love is that? It's called RealLife Center. So it's real people affecting real lives.
We would love to have you partner with the RealLife Center. There are 2 simple ways you can do that from right where you are at home on your phone. One is simply by texting to give. Just take out your phone and text GOBID. That is GOBID to 56651. When you're prompted, simply respond with the dollar amount and then follow the payment instructions. It is a safe and secure site. Shopping our auction is also a wonderful way to get your Christmas shopping done while providing the Real Life Center the funding that we need for our financial assistance and food programs, as well as our other programs and resources that help so many families in our area. Go to www.ThanksLiving2020.org and click on the brown Register to Bid button located on the auction page. It's that simple. Bidding closes Sunday, November 15th at 8:00 p.m. So don't miss your chance at making your Christmas shopping easier this year. We have so many items in our auction, and we're so thankful for all of those in our community, individuals, businesses, civic organizations, even a Girl Scout troop, a dentist office. You all have come forward and said, I want to support the Real Life Center and make a difference in our community through this donation. For that, we're so grateful. Thank you so much in advance for participating in our auction. Your purchases will change lives.
Wow, that was great. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as our community partner, Piedmont Fayette Hospital, created a delicious fall flatbread that would be the perfect beginning to your Thanksgiving meal. I love that this is something that even I can make. Thanks to Chef Lynn for sharing his passion of helping us to be our best by eating and living healthy. I'm so grateful for the role that Piedmont Fayette Hospital has in our community and the way that they are there for all of us. John F. Kennedy once said, we must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. On behalf of the staff and volunteers at the Real Life Center, I want to thank each of you for helping to make a difference in the lives of our neighbors. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning right here at 11 a.m. as chefs Johanna and Matthew Iflin from Hanna Brothers prepare a mouth-watering prime rib and much more that is sure to please everyone in your family. Take a minute and visit our website at reallifecenter.org to learn more about the programs and services that we have to offer. If you've not been to the Real Life Center, please stop by for a visit. It's a great way to get involved and get to know some amazing people, both those that are serving and those we serve. We take a holistic approach as we care for those that are experiencing the hard times of life, such as job loss, unexpected health issues, or family issues. Our approach is simple. First, we try to help during the crisis to help promote immediate stability, and then we move to an investment strategy. Our goal is to equip, encourage, build confidence, offer a place to connect to others, and promote accountability that helps shift perspective from today and the hard stuff of today to what could life be a year from now. And from those goals, hope begins. The beautiful gift that we can weave throughout all of this is sharing God's love and helping them see their value. One thing I love is when I run into folks in our community that may recognize me or maybe see my name tag and stop to tell me the role that the Real Life Center has played in their life. That is not something one person can do alone. It takes all of us. So whether you can serve, pray, advocate, donate, you are part of making that difference. We hope you'll be able to join our sessions and meander through the auction items. You can make the sessions an interactive experience by going to our website, reallifecenter.org, where you will find the recipes featured during all 3 of these cooking segments, and you can cook along with us. Remember to register to bid in our auction, as there is truly something for everyone. So have a great evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another great time together. In the meantime, know that we are thankful for you.
Our Father, Creator, you hold our hearts together. There's no one higher than you. Redeemer, defender, our great and mighty Savior. There's no one